They say love is war, but few men ever learn the tactics. Most march into it like soldiers without armor, waving white flags of sincerity. Believing that honesty and devotion are enough, they call it romance. Machiavelli called it foolishness. Because beneath every smile, every kiss, every whispered promise, there's a negotiation of power. And the man who forgets, that becomes the man who gets played. Let me tell you something most men don't want to hear. The average woman is not trying to destroy you, she's testing you. She wants to know if you can be moved, if you can be bent, if you can be controlled. Every test is a question. Can I trust this man to lead, or will he collapse the moment I stop approving of him? And most men fail, because they answer that question with emotion instead of strategy. Machiavelli would say, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." But fear here doesn't mean intimidation, it means certainty. A woman respects a man whose emotions don't swing like the wind. The moment she realizes you'd rather please her than protect your own peace, she knows exactly where your leash is. The first dark law is this: control perception, not people. You don't win power by telling her who you are. You win it by letting her wonder. The more she tries to figure you out, the deeper she falls. The less you try to prove, the more she believes. Why? Because mystery is masculine gravity. It pulls without chasing. It commands without asking. A man who can stay silent in moments that demand reaction owns the battlefield of attraction. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He said a prince must learn how not to be good, not evil, not predictable. A man who plays by emotional rules written for him by others will always lose. You think love is an exception to that truth. It's the most strategic battlefield there is. Women read energy better than words. They sense hesitation the way wolves smell weakness. That's why you must learn the art of emotional stillness. She yells, you blink once. She storms out, you make tea. She withdraws, you build. Every time you don't react, you rise. Every time you panic, you fall. The second dark law: never fight for attention. Create absence that demands it. If she pulls away, do not chase. If she grows cold, grow quieter. Let her feel the emptiness of your presence. Most men collapse when a woman becomes distant, but the Machiavellian man understands that absence is a message louder than anger. When you disappear with purpose, you haunt her imagination. She starts to wonder if she miscalculated your value, and that wondering is what reignites her attraction. Machiavelli's wisdom wasn't about cruelty, it was about control. Control of self, control of reactions, control of appearance. Because whoever appears stronger is stronger. And in love, strength isn't about muscles, it's about emotional precision. Every man listening right now needs to understand this. If you keep approaching women with purity while ignoring strategy, you'll keep confusing manipulation for affection. You'll keep mistaking attention for loyalty. And you'll keep losing respect in the name of love. There's a moment every man encounters. The instant he feels her slipping away, she grows colder, quieter. Her eyes wander elsewhere when you speak. And in that panic, most men reveal their weakness. They try harder. They explain, reassure, overcompensate. But Machiavelli would smirk, because the moment you start chasing, you've already surrendered the throne. He wrote, "The one who builds on the people builds on mud. The modern man builds on approval, the emotional mud of needing to be liked. But approval is the most expensive addiction a man can have. The more you crave it, the more control you give away." The Machiavellian man doesn't seek reassurance, he manufactures certainty. His value is not decided in the mirror of her affection. It's forged in the solitude
of his purpose. You must understand the paradox of desire. What chases, runs. What withdraws, attracts. Women are emotional strategists. The moment she realizes your emotions orbit around hers, she becomes the sun, and you, a planet trapped in her gravity. But when she sees that your world spins regardless of her presence, she becomes curious, even threatened by your caprice. That's when her instinct kicks in to reclaim your attention. Do not be cruel. Be unreadable. Indifference is not coldness, it's control. The Machiavellian man knows how to show warmth without surrender. He can smile without confessing, touch without promising, and walk away without announcing it. He doesn't close the door. He leaves it slightly ajar so her imagination keeps her awake at night. Because imagination, not words, is what enslaves desire. The fourth dark law: never argue for power. Display it through calm. When she disrespects you, don't explain why it's wrong. Don't debate dignity. She already knows. The moment you start defending your worth, you've accepted that it's negotiable. Machiavelli warned rulers never to waste energy explaining authority, because true authority is self-evident. A king doesn't argue about being king. He simply is. Every man has faced that moment. She tests your patience, pokes your ego, or walks away mid-conversation. The weak man follows, demanding closure. The strong man pauses, and in that pause, his silence becomes a weapon. She'll remember your stillness more than your words. She'll replay that moment and realize she felt small against something she couldn't shake. That's the energy Machiavelli spoke of, the kind that bends others without a single gesture. The fifth dark law: make people earn your kindness. The world today tells men to be endlessly available, endlessly forgiving, endlessly accommodating. But generosity without boundaries is self-betrayal. When you reward bad behavior with empathy, you're not being good, you're being conquered. Machiavelli would tell you that mercy without judgment leads to chaos. Women may claim they want unconditional softness, but they respect selective strength. They may love comfort, but they crave direction. So when she crosses your line, don't announce it, enforce it. Withdraw your warmth, withdraw your availability. Let her feel the quiet discipline of a man who values peace more than company. That's not manipulation, that's masculine law. And here's the truth most men never face. Women don't lose interest because you're too kind. They lose interest because your kindness has no edge. A man who can't enforce respect will never hold attraction. Love needs polarity, masculine stability against feminine chaos. When you collapse into her moods, you become her reflection, not her counterpart. So remember this: every time you try to prove your love, you dilute its impact. Every time you explain your worth, you discount it. Power is not something you demonstrate, it's something she senses. And she can only sense it if you stop trying to prove it. Machiavelli once wrote, "Never attempt to win by force what can be won by deception." He didn't mean lies. He meant subtlety, the art of suggestion, the quiet orchestration of perception. And in love, this becomes a man's deadliest advantage. Because the moment you can influence how she feels without saying a word, you've entered the level of silent control most men never reach. The sixth dark law: create emotional contrast. A woman's attraction lives in the highs and lows of emotion. Predictability is poison. The reason she was obsessed with you in the beginning is because she didn't know when to expect you, how to read you, or where she stood with you. That uncertainty created excitement. Then you got comfortable, predictable, available, and she began to see you like furniture. Comfortable, yes. Unforgettable, never. A Machiavellian man understands that consistency of value, doesn't mean consistency of behavior. He gives affection in doses, not floods. He shows warmth, then mystery. He disappears, then reappears with purpose. He rewards respect, not availability. That rhythm of giving and withdrawing isn't cruelty, it's control. It's how he keeps fascination alive. The seventh dark law: make her invest more than you give. Every relationship is an economy of energy. The one who invests more fears loss more. When you chase, overgive, or overexplain, you hand her the power of scarcity. You become the easy commodity, while she becomes the luxury. Machiavelli warned rulers to make themselves desired. The same rule applies to men in love. You must become a luxury, not a lifeline. That means she must work for your time, earn your approval, feel your distance when she takes your presence for granted. Because what costs her nothing will never mean much to her. A man's value isn't felt in what he gives, it's felt in what he withholds until it's deserved. And this is where emotional intelligence becomes warfare. The eighth dark law: reward effort, not emotion. When she's loving, attentive, and feminine, reward that softness with presence. When she's cold, disrespectful, or manipulative, become a wall. Don't fight it. Don't plead. Don't analyze. Just withdraw your energy. You cannot train respect through discussion. You train it through consequence.
And nothing disciplines better than silence, because silence to a woman is not emptiness, it's reflection. She fills it with her own thoughts, her guilt, her curiosity. She begins to question, did I go too far? Did I lose him? That's when attraction returns, not through your words, but through her realization. Machiavelli would call that psychological governance, the art of ruling through suggestion, not suppression. The ninth dark law: make mystery your weapon and peace your disguise. Never let her know what truly shakes you. Never reveal the depth of your strategy. Power dies the moment it's explained. You must let her feel your depth, not see it. Speak with intention, move with patience. When she tries to provoke emotion, give her stillness. When she expects a reaction, offer unpredictability. You'll confuse her, intrigue her, frustrate her, but you'll always remain unforgettable. Machiavelli knew that perception shapes reality. He said, men judge more by the eye than by the hand, meaning people believe what they see you becoming more than who you actually are. If you appear grounded, she'll believe you are. If you appear powerful, she'll treat you like you are. The illusion becomes the truth through repetition. That's how kings are made and how fools are forgotten. So ask yourself, what image of yourself do you project when things go wrong? Do you look like a man losing control or a man calculating in silence? Because in those moments, attraction isn't dying, it's taking notes. Machiavelli once warned, "He who becomes a slave to his own mercy destroys himself." And that is where most men fall, under the illusion that kindness alone will save them. They believe patience will soften her, that love will transform disrespect, that explaining themselves will restore peace. But a Machiavellian man knows people don't change out of pity. They change out of consequence. The 10th dark law: withdraw to preserve your authority. The moment she senses that you'll stay, no matter how she behaves, the throne of your respect begins to crumble. A woman respects the man whose silence feels like exile, whose absence feels like judgment, whose distance is earned. You must make your withdrawal sacred, not as punishment, but as education. When you leave, leave completely, without warning, without pleading, without theatrics. Let her feel what life is like without the order you provided, because chaos teaches faster than lectures ever could. The 11th dark law: become her emotional gravity. In every relationship, someone becomes the center of gravity and the other starts orbiting. The man who can remain calm while she spirals becomes that center. The more you detach from her moods, the more she gets pulled toward your stability. Women don't crave emotional chaos, they crave emotional certainty. But they can't resist testing its foundation. If your peace can be broken by her words, she knows it's not real. But if you stay unmoved, she starts building her storms around your stillness. That's when dominance becomes devotion. Machiavelli believed a ruler's strength came from control of appearance, not brute force. Appearance. The man who looks like he knows what he's doing eventually becomes the man who does. The 12th dark law. Live as if you cannot be replaced, not arrogantly, but with purpose. A man who walks with purpose emits an aura that rewires the energy of every room. You've seen it. The man who doesn't need validation, doesn't compete, doesn't flinch. Women sense it instantly. It's not just confidence, it's detachment from outcome. He's not trying to win anyone. He already has himself. The weak man seeks to be chosen. The Machiavellian man chooses. His life is a kingdom, and entry is earned, not begged for. That's the power most men fear to claim because it requires walking alone long enough to stop fearing solitude. Once you stop needing anyone to complete you, you become the one everyone wants to be around. That's not arrogance, that's magnetism. And here's the final dark law. Power isn't about control, it's about direction. The goal isn't to dominate women, it's to stop being dominated by emotion. When a man governs himself, everything else aligns. His discipline commands respect, his silence draws curiosity, his absence builds longing. He no longer plays the boy begging for affection. He becomes the architect of his own gravity. Machiavelli would have said it simply, men rise from one ambition to another. First they seek to secure themselves against attack, then they attack others. The modern man's battle is internal. Secure yourself against your own weakness, your need to be understood, your addiction to being liked, your fear of walking away. Once you master that, the rest of life bows quietly before you. So men, remember this. You are not here to be understood. You are here to be remembered. Stop explaining your worth. Stop apologizing for your standards. Speak less, move intentionally, build silently. Let your presence teach what your words cannot. Because the moment you become emotionally unpredictable yet spiritually grounded, you'll realize Machiavelli wasn't teaching manipulation. He was teaching self-mastery. And self-mastery is the only throne no one can overthrow. If this spoke to you, if you've ever been the man who gave everything and lost yourself, then this is your rebirth. Reclaim your power, your calm, your edge. Become the man who doesn't chase approval, but commands it through presence. And if you felt that truth in your bones, like, share, and subscribe, because the world is starving for strong men again, and maybe, just maybe, you were meant to be one.